Let's talk some football right now, though. We'll continue that discussion going. We got Saints coming up at 2 o'clock with Luke Johnson. That's 25 minutes away. LSU, again, indoors today for the media availability piece of the practice. Tigers did not have shoulder pads on once again, just helmets, the jerseys, and the football pants with no pads in them. So they were going at it in the indoor, and the media only got 15 minutes today, just 3 periods. And the only thing you could really do at that point is kind of chart plays and take attendance. And Matt was there. I wasn't able to go. Myers-Man had a little bit of a fever last night that trickled into this morning. Daycare says no thanks to that, so Dad was home for the morning session. Got a story written and got my show prepped, but was not able to go out to practice. So Matt went for our station and wrote a report up that you can find for free on LouisianaSports.net. The only absence that Matt noted today was Aaron Anderson that was not there. I don't believe that's much of a concern until we find out that it is. Oftentimes, just something comes up at this point in camp, especially with veteran players, and they're excused. I have no frame of reference what that is whatsoever, but my concern level on it is 0 until I'm told there needs to be some concern. There was also some concern, apparently, with field goal kicking. Damien Ramos missed from 28 and 48 yards. Apparently, there was some disjointed special teams action today. My concern level on that, 0. Are
you sure, though? Because, there were issues. Last year was not as bad. But.
It's a brand new coaching staff on special teams. Brought in the special teams analyst from Grambling to come run it. You've got a guy in Ramos who's a fourth-year kicker. I don't have any concerns about that whatsoever in July. If they come out there against Clemson and there's 10 guys on the field goal team and they get 2 blocked like they did a couple years ago, I'll throw a panic attack. Today, not the case. In terms of accuracy, it's not a situation like I would be concerned if you didn't know who the kicker was going to be and they sent 2 guys out there and both of them were hooking balls way left and it just looked like, oh my gosh, there's a freshman that's going to be out there and we have no idea. Ramos has been one of the better kickers in LSU modern history. Not the best by any stretch, but he's fine, and my confidence level in him is high, so not too worried about that at all. And apparently Aaron Burrell looked pretty good kicking some long field goals, so that's a guy that's got a very exciting future in Baton Rouge because of the strength of his leg, but make no mistake, Ramos is the kicker at this point. Matt charted the offense's hurry-up drill with no defense on the field. Seen them do this a lot. They generally move it 5, 10, 15 yards at a time with no defense. And one of the first plays that Matt saw was a little screen completed to Bauer Sharp. And I believe that LSU is going to utilize the screen game significantly this year. Why do I say that? 1, we've seen it a lot. And 2, it helps your offensive line. Last year, teams could really try to rush the passer, and LSU was so good and so cohesive on the offensive line, they could mainly pick things up. South Carolina got home a couple times. A&M in the second half got loose. Bama forced a fumble. But, for the most part, Nussmeier was pretty well upright when he wanted to throw it. I don't think LSU can rely on that steadfastly entering the Clemson game. You're going to have a second and third pitch to deal with the pass rush. The fastball is, okay, come at us. We got an offensive line. But you need to change up the screen game. You need a breaking ball, the draw game. The running game is what you need to keep those guys honest and staying ahead of the chains. Because I think that LSU is going to take a step back this year in pass protection. It's just natural when you got 4 linemen drafted who have been 3-year starters. That doesn't happen. So you're going to take a little bit of a step back there. But if you can keep teams honest with some of these wrinkles, Nussmeier's going to be fine. And I like the screen game to Bauer Sharp. Xavion Thomas caught a 35-yard touchdown, again, against no defense. But he's out there with the first team. And I think that's a nod to seniority. I think that's a nod to a guy that's going to be a primary kickoff returner and or punt returner. I don't know that I think he's going to be a first-team wide receiver on this team because I think his skill set is too similar to Anderson's. They've got Anderson. I'm talking about Aaron Anderson, not Nick. They need to have Chris Hilton out there. They need Aaron Anderson out there. Destin Hill showed out big time yesterday. There's some more diverse skill sets that I think they need to get to the field. But Xavion Thomas is running with the ones right now. Bauer Sharp caught a 15-yard out route, and then Berrion Brown caught a touchdown on a slant, and Chris Hilton caught a screen for a touchdown, once again back to the screen game. But I liked what I saw from Berrion Brown yesterday. He was running a little bit with the ones today with Aaron Anderson out. And this is what I'll continue to kind of harp on with Brown. I think he was massively underutilized in Lexington. I think that's pretty obvious. You look at a guy with that kind of talent, with that low of production, Kentucky fans will tell you, we just didn't work out. It's the same thing that LSU fans will say about Deshaun Womack and Sage Ryan probably as they go to Oxford. But you look at Berrion Brown and you watch him run routes and you watch his speed and you watch him catch the ball the way he did yesterday. Like, I just feel like that's a guy who's probably going to have a pretty big year. And he was running with the ones today. Hilton's the other one that, once again, looked really good yesterday. Myers told me today, this is not really an aside, it's pretty much on topic. He said, I want to watch football. So I cranked up YouTube this morning and I turned on the Baylor game. And if you don't recall, in the Baylor game, Hilton ran down the right sideline just right by a dude for a touchdown. I mean, like he was standing still, and Nussmeier laid it right in at the 2, and Hilton just walked in. And then on the next drive, Hilton ran right by another guy, and Nussmeier floated up in the air, and Hilton caught it and skidded down inside the 1, and they ran it in. But like back-to-back possessions, Baylor had a DB that started his back pedal and then went to flip his hips, and Hilton was just gone. And I'm not here to tell you that Baylor is the 75 Bears or the next coming of DBU, but like, it's pretty easy to watch that. And he did the same thing against Oklahoma a month earlier. And I know we've talked about this a lot, but it reinforced it to me today, having watched Hilton in person yesterday, had a big catch down the right sideline when we went outside. And then, coincidentally, Myers wanted to watch football, so I was like, well, what can I get out of you saying you want to watch football? I can put anything on YouTube. Maybe something I can do for work today. Let me watch the highlights of the Texas Bowl. Let's see if anything pops. And I remembered the touchdown offhand that Hilton caught. I didn't immediately recall that he caught one right down at the 1-yard line. Those games can get a little bit hectic when I'm not in Tiger Stadium because I'm in the bowels of Tiger Stadium in the radio studio, and I'm listening to the game, and I'm also writing for .net, and then got the highlights, and I'm getting ready for a post-game show, and there's a lot that goes on in there, and there's a lot of notes that are involved, and I don't have my notes from that game in front of me. So at that point, it was a nice memory jog to see that. And I see on Matt's practice report, hey, Chris Hilton, screen pass for touchdown. I'm going, they're going to be able to use him in a lot of different ways. Hilton also, and I forgot to bring this up, in that game, caught a little slant-ish route. It was longer developing than a slant, but Nussmeier was under a little pressure, and he kind of sidearmed it. And Hilton caught it on the run going towards the middle of the field. He looked like he was in fast forward, and all the Baylor guys were on play. I mean, he just zoomed right up the middle of the field, and it took 3 guys converging at the next level to slow him down. But when he was on the same level as guys that were trying to cover him, he ran right by them. He's going to be explosive. He's going to be a problem for other teams. Juwan Johnson took the first rep at quarterback for the second team and handed off to Caleb Jackson. I mentioned this yesterday, but he's not in a no-contact jersey. That's of note, and I think they're working a package for him in the running game. Michael Van Buren came in, threw a 35-yarder to Jelani Watkins. Then Destin Hill made a catch on a quick slant. Van Buren overthrew Kyle Parker. And then Colin Hurley came in and threw a tight end screen to Donovan Green. Then hit a couple of backup wide receivers in Phillip Wright and then a check down to Phillip Wright. And then Hurley's next intended pass was to Nick Anderson, which brings me to my last point here of this practice report, which wasn't a ton because the media got 15 minutes. Nick Anderson was out there. As Brian Kelly said yesterday, Nick Anderson was out there and able to do some 11-on-0 and some stuff that he wasn't doing yesterday. I did not like going out to practice yesterday and seeing Nick Anderson holding his receiver gloves when the team was going through drills. But Brian Kelly cleared that up right after practice yesterday. Said, look, concussion protocol from a car accident. It's on his last day. He's going to be fine. He'll be with us tomorrow. And he was tomorrow, which is today. So good stuff there from Matt. If you want to read that practice report, it's up at louisianasports.net. We do not have access tomorrow to practice. They will do that behind closed doors. But Saturday, we get the whole thing. So clearly we want to have a show on Saturday. But if you want Saturday's practice report for free, you can check it out when that's done, probably around noon at louisianasports.net, where we've got all your practice reports. Hey, thanks for watching Hunt on LSU. Before you get out of here, do us a couple of favors. Hit that like button, leave your comments below, and subscribe to the channel for all your Fighting Tiger football talk. See you next time.